Ben Simmons puts up 5 points in Game 7. He averaged single-digit points, I think, or close to single-digit points in the series. Great defender, but we've seen it time and time again. When it comes to the playoffs, half-court offense, Ben Simmons just it doesn't bring you anything.
Ben Simmons went from being LeBron James without a jump shot to Tony Allen that passes well. Like that's what happened to him. He went from LeBron James without a jump shot, where it's if you develop this jump shot, you're gonna be the next like guy. You know what I mean? You're gonna be the next Magic Johnson, LeBron James, 6'10" guy who could dribble, attack the rim, pass, gets his teammates involved, and be that guy to a guy that's an elite level defender who could pass pretty good. He's Tony Allen with better passing. But yeah, this Sixers team, this is it for, in my opinion. We're going to see huge changes, huge blow-ups, and completely new team next season.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you look at their team, Embiid is an amazing two-way player, obviously. Tobias Harris isn't like the greatest defender, but he's not like a complete liability on defense. But then past that, Thibault does nothing offensively. Ben Simmons in the playoffs does nothing. Seth Curry's all offense and no defense. So it's hard to get five guys out on the floor that you can kind of rely on both sides.
Yeah, so what would you want the Sixers to do besides trade Simmons? Like, what are some names that you would want to hear back from?
Simmons, I think you need to. Dame obviously is out there. That's probably not happening. Like, would you do like Simmons for CJ and a bunch of stuff? Do you think?
Yeah, that's what the reports are. CJ is what the execs say is considered a fair trade. Yeah. Obviously, before like come trade deadline, he was kind of James equivalent Harden to like James Harden. And names similar to James Harden, Bradley Beal, Damian Lillard were like, oh, since James Harden's gone, now maybe Ben Simmons gets shipped out for one of those two guys. But his stock has crashed so hard that it's like it's now in the range of like CJ McCollum, D'Angelo Russell. That's another name that we've been hearing.
Wow.
Kemba Walker maybe. So those are the names that we're hearing, not those top tier names of Dame and Beal anymore.
Yeah, it's it seems like the options are Portland for CJ, maybe. I think Cleveland might be a decent option for Colin Sexton. Maybe Garland. Yeah. You got Kevin Love's big contract to make that happen.
Match.
And then Sabonis and Brogdon on Indiana is a possibility. OKC you mentioned. Like, I don't know why you would want Kemba back because he's like never healthy. But a three-way trade, maybe with getting Beal involved or something like that, that'd be really interesting. Having Shea and Ben Simmons on the same team would be pretty cool, I think. But the options are pretty limited. Do you like, if you had to bet right now, do you think he's on the Sixers when the season starts next year?
I think he is. I think Daryl Morey is going to try his hardest to get those two guys, Beal and Damian Lillard. I think both of those teams are going to be tentative to move them. So I think he's just going to bet on the Wizards having a disappointing start to the season again. And if they do have a disappointing start to the season, if they can't, get a DeMar DeRozan, if they can't trade for Jeremy Grant, if they can't get those type of guys in, and it's just this no defenders alongside Bradley Beal, they have a disappointing start to the season. Hey, Ben Simmons is averaging 16 points again. He's getting 10 assists and 8 rebounds. He's almost a triple-double machine, Like you could start presenting him like that again. Then you just attach the picks, get that deal to happen. And I think Daryl Morey's going to stay with Ben Simmons till his value goes up. Why trade him at the all-time low, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is the absolute worst time to be trading him. At least give it a few months at least. Let him, because he looks good in the regular season. He was our defensive player of the year. Like that alone is enough to make him more a near max. Like Rudy Gobert's on a max.
Yeah.
We'll get into him in a little bit, but I think you'll be able to find someone who thinks that they can basically just turn him to a baby Giannis, just surround him with shooters, basically play him at center, and get him driving into like open lanes and stuff like that. I think you'll be able to find someone.
And that's why these teams have been mentioned, like the Timberwolves and the Pacers. The reason they're mentioned is because Miles Turner is such a good 3-point shooter, and Karl-Anthony Towns is such a good 3-point shooter, is that even though they're centers, they have provide enough spacing where Ben Simmons is kind of like the only non-shooter on the court. So those are the type of centers that are going to be best aside Ben Simmons, because Embiid's a good center, a good 3-point shooting center, but he's not elite. And you need an elite 3-point shooting center and not alongside Ben Simmons.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here so you never miss the best clips from Stretch the Floor. Hit the links in the description below to find us on all podcast platforms. And follow us on Instagram.